Many thanks for joining us on today's edition of Joy Asanya Live. As usual, it's fantastic to be here and we discuss very important issues. Joining us today is Sanmi Oladunni, CEO of MOL Tech Accessories, a homegrown Nigerian company that designs, manufactures, and distributes phone chargers, cables, power banks, earbuds, and all tech-related accessories. Now, under his leadership of MOL, he has pushed into local production, retail channels in Nigeria, and taken part in product launches across hubs all over the country. Today, we'll explore the realities of building hardware and tech accessories in Nigeria, the opportunities, the infrastructural and supply chain constraints, what institutional support is actually working and what isn't, and how young tech entrepreneurs can move from idea to sustainable business. That's all we'll be discussing on today's edition of the program. And in the studio is Sanmi Oladunni. Thank you so much for being part of the program.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joy. It's
Yeah.
nice to be here.
I am happy to have you
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
We are going into tech development in Africa, in Nigeria, challenges and opportunities and all that. But I would like you to start with, how did MOL start? How did it begin? What was the foresight? Was it always a product that you wanted to sell? What solution were you hoping to bring?
Okay, thank you, Joy. Thank you once again. So basically, it was for me, it was about value. One, it was about building the name, you know, Africa, Nigeria. I think there are a lot of brilliant minds, brilliant ideas, and all of that. But unfortunately, there's no facilities around, people, and resources to, make people better versions of themselves. So I thought that with all the experience I have, I've worked with the top three brands in Nigeria. ITEL, Oraimo. I was Oraimo Zone 1 manager. I was managing Nigeria, Niger, Benin Republic at the time. So I was also into product development, which was where I learned all of these things. So combining my marketing experience, because I also have about 8 years experience in advertising, work with SO and Saatchi and Saatchi, and also TBWA Concepts.
Wow.
And so I moved into product development, I moved into sales, I moved into distribution and design, in designing products. And I discovered that over 75% of the product phone accessories Nigerians use is that kind of dodgy, So uh,
What do you mean by dodgy?
yeah, I mean, like,
The
you
products are
use, yeah,
substandard?
the quality of the products, and I think Nigerians deserve the best.
Absolutely.
We now go to US, or whenever we travel is when we think we
We
can
can
get the
get the
best.
best
Why?
product, yeah.
And when we have the manpower here, we have the people with
And
the
the
brains here
market.
and the market here. So why can't we try to do it? Even if we can't produce here yet, let's design, let the concept come from us, which was why we started with the mall. The concept, the idea, that's why at the back of every of our products, you will see under the direction of MOL Integrated Services Limited, because we designed, it was our concept, we designed, and QC is very important because we also thought that many people would run away from made in Nigeria brands, which is not so good. So we want to change that narrative. We want people to begin to embrace
Made in
Nigeria
Nigeria
brands.
brand.
So,
But you can also understand why that is. Very often there's that sustainability in product standard is missing. We have quality control. You can just see the branding is even not attractive, and so many factors that make a lot of us, just say, what, it's too much
yeah, but
hassle.
we all can't run away from it. Someone would need, at some point, someone somewhere would have to start. Just like the way them Dangote, everybody started in
Right.
within their own environment, their own industry. Look at the doctors, for example. if you give them all they need, all the resources, all the equipment, I'm sure we can build and have one of the best health facilities in Nigeria. Because if you look at it, most of our doctors are even rated really high,
when they leave
abroad.
our country.
Yeah. So,
but with product, with product, it seems like there's no standard for it. There's the Standard Organization of Nigeria.
Yes.
Are they doing a good enough work to ensure that Nigerian consumers are not shortchanged? Because that's often the problem.
Yeah, the regulatory body and authority is one part, right, which is fine. There is an association on the other side to protect local brands, right? And also,
that's the Manufacturer Association of Nigeria. Is that the association that protects local brands?
No, but for like each market where phone accessory is being sold, there's an association, right?
Absolutely.
So, but there's no national body yet, but for phones, I know there's a national body. But what I'm trying to say is that someone needs to make it happen. Someone needs to start. For us, we knew that gap was there. We weren't ready. It wasn't something that we were waiting for other people to do for us. We wanted to make it happen. All our products go through at least 18 level of quality assurance process, aging test, QC, pull test, drop test, heat, surge resistant, a lot. And we can spend, from the R&D department, we can spend over a year trying to, get a product right to a golden sample before, even after we're satisfied with the golden sample, which is, we need to go into mass production. We still take it round to our retailers, to end users to look at it. What do you think about it? They would have one or two comments. So we try to tailor it to ensure that by the time we mass produce, bring it in, even when we bring it in, there are times that we just open about 10 different boxes and just randomly check before we even start distribution. So all those things, I think a lot of people don't check. They just try to slam their logos on it and then just send it into Nigeria, no matter so nobody checks all these things. So we are already producing because we want to be in Europe 2029. So we're already making global standard products.
Right.
So we're going, for us to meet and go beyond African market, we need to do something better than African market, which is the Europe standard, Asia standard, and then from there we know whatever comes to Nigeria they already know that it's going to be good stuff. So and we're hoping that the regulatory body would take this up and then help to support.
We were talking deeply about the institutional support that's necessary, but you mentioned in passing that feeling. Nigerians, when you see made in Nigeria, you're a bit skeptical. Is it something you've experienced? Because it is legitimately an issue.
Yes.
And what are you doing to ensure that they trust your product, having gone through like the quality assurance you just mentioned?
Yeah. So that's what I mentioned earlier. So what we are doing is the only way we can change the perception is we make sure that our QC is at the standard it should be, one, at the level it should be, and giving Nigerians the best quality, not just Nigeria and Africa, the best quality. We're just about 3 years and we're already in 25 states. So what we try to do with every product is make sure that the QC is very key for us. That's number one. After the concept design, QC is very, very important. So we believe that if people, use the products, other people, they can, tell other people about it, that this is different from what we've been using. Also, where is it from? So for example, what we do and the way we try to even market our products is totally different from the way others, kind of market their products. So when our sales team or get into any space of retail, and all they need to do is profile by brand. Am I in a store where they sell quality gadgets? If they are not in that, so we call it profile by brand, profile by product, profile by brand.
Of course.
So once we get in there, we see that you are not selling the top brands, the JBLs. We
You're
move
like,
out.
no.
So we wouldn't, because we can't engage. You wouldn't even understand where we're coming from. And the first thing you're going to hear is, "Oh, you're a new brand. Why is your price should be cheap? Your price should be, And they won't understand the value behind it. They won't understand the kind of effort and quality we've put into it. But if we go into a store where you see the premium brands, JBL, yeah, and we don't even talk when we get there. If, for example, if it's like a headphones, we just give it to you. Oh, I think this you would like this product. Just try it. If you don't like it, don't worry, I'll just leave. And the next thing, the person is like, "Wow, what brand is this?" So before you know it, the consumer is already mentioning the name. Once they test the product, because of the quality we've put into it, they will ask you 3 questions. Which brand is this? How much is it? Do you have it now?
Right.
So if you don't answer, if they don't reply to our sales team that way, sales representative that way, then it means they're not.
You're not down for business.
Yeah, we're not down. We won't even go further. So we would have checked all these things, and so the only way we differentiate ourselves is through the quality we put into this product, and then we try to profile. I'm sure everybody knows. You would know the kind of. You know your taste. You know the kind of
Absolutely.
things when you want to go shopping.
Absolutely.
When you know the kind of.
I am particular about those things.
Yeah.
Particularly.
Yeah. So it's the same way, and we believe that we're going to start gradually and then become real ambassadors of local brands. Going global. So we want to make sure that people begin to embrace. Made in Nigeria brands. A lot of people have so much experience in their field, but everybody is just sitting down because there's no support, there's nothing.
Again, we will get to the institutional support that's necessary for young tech developers that in the sector.
Yeah.
But you make everyday tech accessories. What would you say are the first kind of challenges you faced when you wanted to go to the market, in spite of the experience you had gathered over the years?
The way I see it is so funny. I said I worked with the top, let's say, 3 brands. And what I noticed is each of those brands are 3 different approach. Because what I mean is the strategy I used in the first brand, let's say ITEL or IMO, New Age, for example, they're totally different brands. It's just like phone accessories. Let me explain it this way. You have like 3 siblings from one parent. They would all have 3 different personalities.
Right.
So the way the parents will approach them is different. The way they will talk to each Shego is different from the way they will talk to Moses. You get what I'm saying? So you need to understand how brands are, and they have their own peculiar approach, which you need to understand. You can't do copy and paste. It's impossible.
So now, what did you do?
No, it's just about understanding. First of all, it's about understanding the brand. And because of my advertising experience, marketing experience, it gave me the knowledge of understanding the brand. Okay. You need to know who you are. Then you create a strategy around who you are. And you can never be like anybody. It's impossible. So you need to create that personality. You need to create that brand to fit into the vision, to fit into what you really want to achieve. Because I've worked in the top 3 brands does not mean I would use the same strategy I use in those top 3 brands, unless I don't know what I'm doing or I'm scared of being at the top. So what I did with the top 3 brands is totally different from what we're doing with MOL. For example, in I think about 2018 when I joined Oraimo, which is the #1 brand currently, we had other brands, New Age, Phil, which were much cheaper, more affordable, and what now happens is, because of the kind of brand Oraimo was, I didn't want to lower the value.
Right.
the brand value. The identity was totally different because of the kind of products they were making. So I said, you know what, we don't have to compete at the same level or fight that price war game. And we started then, and then Oraimo became number one, even though their prices was a bit higher than
the other
number one brands then. So it's about identifying who you are, and also not just that. There's something we call PPP, like price penetrating products. You need to like develop some product to suit some particular geographical region. So what would be selling fast in Abuja now
may not necessarily sell fast in
Kano.
Lagos, right?
This just Kano that is
Exactly.
beside, that is not far from Abuja here. So so it's it takes a lot of research, it takes a lot of understanding, it takes a lot of information, knowledge, for you to put all these things together.
Okay, so what price trade-off have you had to manage? I mean, in manufacturing and getting these components versus just ship these things, go to China like we'll see others do, go to China and import components or import
just slam the logo, just no QC, no.
Exactly.
Well, I would say we have never thought of that gap difference, because if it wasn't, it's not the vision. Is the focus is to try to build quality products that can be associated to a Nigerian brand. So we were just majorly focused on the quality, and then design, concept, innovation, basically. So innovation, the quality, and obviously the service is very important once they arrive. So we have never thought of what would the price, because we don't even have any reason to look at that angle. The only thing we might just consider is look at how to improve or add some more features depending on the feedback of that particular product to whatever we have. And I think that's it.
Okay, so Nigerian manufacturers would always complain about power, access, constraints, and so many challenges that affect the manufacturing industry. What would you say you are doing
like
to
I
get
said,
to overcome them?
If Dangote was thinking like this, he won't get to where he was.
Oh,
look at
that's
the kind
true.
of investment, look at the refinery. He would have thought of so many things, and now this thing will not make it. I think for someone that has that really wants to make a mark and try to build, you should be ready to take the risk.
Okay.
And I'm also a project manager, so planning is key for us. So planning, projection, risk analysis, all of that is going to form part of how successful you would come out to be. So for us, we have never seen it as a challenge that power would stop us. Whatever the government, whatever point we are, we need to start first.
Absolutely.
And then we have a plan, we have risk analysis, and then we weigh risk and benefits, and then obviously if the benefits outweighs the risk, we will do it. But at the same time, even the risk part of it is what makes a lot of businesses successful, in my own opinion. So I don't think
that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah, so that's why I said, if you ask any project manager, as a project manager, I look at things from the worst case scenario. So if I want to achieve this thing, what's the worst that can happen?
Right? And so from there you walk your way to the best case.
So at the end of the day, you find out that you're achieving probably even more beyond your expectations. So for us, we have some plans already, which we feel that will give at least over 2,000 Nigerians employment.
That's noble.
Yeah, so it's still a bit confidential, but obviously it's something that we are planning to do, and it's not like it's not going to be a big challenge. Well, it's been our 5-year plan, so I'm sure by 2028, everything would start to materialize. But the thing is, if you don't plan, if you don't, for businesses especially, you need 5-year, 10-year plan. So you walk down from your 10-year plan, and then you start taking it one step at the other. Unfortunately for our industry, it's so funny that whatever you've planned now, as of today is Thursday, right? By tomorrow morning, things have changed. So you might need to change something. So if you're not like aware of this particular, and you're just stuck on this is the direction,
exactly.
it can be, it's like there's no like template. It's not like a routine. It's not. You have to be able to
be dynamic,
and
figure out
do a lot of research.
Right.
Research is very key. Day in, day out, ask questions, get feedback. Is very important. So for us, we don't think manufacturing, apart from the fact that maybe you would need to get raw materials from China. We even have some of the raw materials here.
Right here.
You get the machines. There's some of the materials that we use for cable that is shipped from here. So we don't think it would be a challenge, and I think like I said, we've already even started talking about things like that. So bringing the Chinese even to come here, train our people with our own experience, and then tailor it to what we need here, or what would need in Africa, is what we just need to talk about.
I mean, would you say that that's the issue with young tech entrepreneurs and startups? Enough research doesn't go into it, and they probably just see the risk and get scared from the word go, and like, no, this is going to be too. What do you think is causing it? We have the energies, we have innovative young people, we have the skill. What is going on?
So for us, the little I will just tell you about the little we have started doing from our side. So we have started engaging and working with undergraduates.
Oh, okay.
So we call them campus ambassadors. So they are either in the engineering department or the marketing or mass communication department. I'm from a mass communication background. From
even though you seem to have abandoned us.
Yeah, but I did a little of advertising, before I went into sales and distribution and product development and all. So, but so what we do is we try to encourage them. We pick some of them. I talk to them personally. I have a team, so we engage. We talk to them. What do you want to do after school? What are your plans? What are your goals? What do you want to achieve? And so what we're focusing on engineering departments, like I said, because of the IT, the computer science, and also the mass communication department, because our own industry is built around these three things.
Absolutely.
So
people must know.
Yes. So there are times we go to the school. Maybe they have we give some support, and at times when they're done with school, they need a place to serve, or they're done with uni and looking for a job. Why would they be looking for a job when we've been together with them from some years back? So we have campus ambassadors in, I think, Abuja, Yaba Tech, Lagos, Benin, Port Harcourt, and some of them are now graduates, gone into one thing or the other, but they've learned one thing or the other, and then they always come. So we have one of our after sales store in Lagos where they can come in. We have a mini studio, do whatever for free. They don't need to. Maybe they want to create some content, or they have things to do. They just come in. And, so we give them that opportunity,
and
to feel free to express. So some of them would say, can can we get this equipment for them? Yeah, why? We just get it because it's going to be useful for them and for us anyway.
Exactly.
So we just allow them to play with whatever they want to play with and feel that everything is possible. So we try to do that as much as possible, and we try to like build around the youths and people that can be encouraged to become one of the best.
I mean, this is just you, and there are millions of young people. So it's obvious we need hubs
Yes.
that are intentional about,
Yes.
you know, this knowledge transfer, mentorship necessary, and all that. What would your suggestion be?
Yeah, so for me,
I mean, also for manufacturers, just as yourself, people in the business.
yes. So as you said, we need to get passionate people. You need to be intentional about it before you can. The passion is what will drive you to be able to mentor people, to mentor other people, to make sure that you know you can bring out the best of out of people. And even with our products, what we also plan to do is we want products that will make people better versions of themselves. So we put this in mind when designing the products. When we want to launch products, what will this product do? How, for example, um, um, everybody feels a charging cable is a charging cable. Is a basic function, nothing, but it can do more. You can have your charging cable in different way to do more for you in different ways.
Really?
In
I mean,
terms
I'm
of,
wearing one of your
yeah,
cables.
yeah, this is like this innovation came out from fashion and tech because we discovered that people around 18 to 35 would always have something
On their wrist.
on their wrist. So how can we mix fashion and tech? And that was how we did this. There's some of not just about the fashion and tech. How efficient is it?
Right.
And what you're having on, if it was for other brands, they would just put the regular thing. That is a data transfer. That is waterproof. That is 20-watt speed. So in all of this small thing that you have on your wrist,
my wrist, yeah.
It looks like it's just basic, but it can do more. That's why we said we want to do things that will make people better versions of themselves. So and the kind of devices people are making now, according to NCC says we have close to about 135 million feature phone users in Nigeria, and while we have just about 40 smartphone users in Nigeria
currently.
Wow. And the smartphone industry is going to grow by, I think, 15% every year, while the feature phone is just going to, with the bigger size, is going to grow by just less than 1%. So it means that in future we're going to have more phone accessories with more functional things like speed, like how durable, like a lot of technology is going to be around smartphone users and the accessories in the nearest future. So that's why we are trying to focus on that part, the growing market, and make sure that we are ahead of things, and then we can give Africans the kind of products that can complement the devices they are using and make them achieve more and become better versions of themselves.
Oladunni, you have said so much, but it's time to go for a short break. Like they say, time flies when you're having a good time. There's still so much to discuss. First of all, what are the opportunities within Africa? Where do you see MOL going? And there's so much more to discuss. Challenges we have discussed, but opportunities is right there. We're discussing tech development in Nigeria, challenges and opportunities. Now we have discussed so much that's going on, how the challenges there is and the opportunities, somewhat we have discussed that. But my guest today, the CEO MOL Tech Accessories, would now get us to the opportunities. we know, you know, that we have the young demographic, the energies are here, the innovation is here, the skill is here, we have intelligent young people. Is that actually the resource, sort of the capital that we can boast of? Well, Sunri, thank you so much for being with us
Yeah.
and discussing these issues. What
Yeah.
are the opportunities for African young people, for Nigerian young people?
Yeah, I think it's vast, and I think you know, what the interesting thing about it is, phone accessories is like unlimited. You can come up with different ideas. So I would, I always think that finding a problem is where the opportunity comes in. Um, Something happened some time ago when I was with one of the top brands now currently. So at the airport, I think I was Lagos to Abuja. So I was coming for a meeting in Abuja, and this was about 2017 or 16 or so, 16. And I got to Abuja, and I forgot to charge my phones. So I couldn't reach the person I wanted to meet. So the phone was already running red. So I was supposed to return to Kano from there.
Oh.
So I got back. I said, okay, since I won't be able to reach the person in Abuja, let me just go to Kano. I know where I'm going to in Kano. I got back, got another ticket, and then got at the departure lounge, and my phone was almost going to die, and I was looking for where to charge it. And I kept asking, where is there should be some
place,
kind of
yeah.
port to plug my phone and charge the phone, and they told me, yeah, they stopped it, and I asked why, and they said they have a central system. I really didn't understand what they were saying, but they said when people plug in their
Devices?
their chargers, that maybe because of the quality of the chargers as well, it just sparks, and once one plug sparks, it affects the whole system in the airport. So
no.
they stop people from charging. So I'm like, this is a problem, and people will be stranded, and there will be delayed flights, and people will try to reach whoever they like. How can we, sort this out? And I asked to meet the terminal manager, and I asked the person, what if I develop a charging booth for the passengers, and then advertise our own products for free, without charge. I would give access to the passengers to charge
Right.
for free, because there was a problem and I couldn't. So, and yeah, and they felt it was a brilliant idea, and then we built charging booths from China, and we brought them Lagos and Ibadan airports. We started with Lagos and Ibadan airports, and you know that within because I think within 3 months I made the money of setting it up, because of producing that thing. I'm shipping it down,
right.
and put it. So where the benefit comes is you charge for free, and then you can pick up a power bank or charger,
Yeah.
as you're leaving.
You display your product.
Yeah. So because there was product display with
the solution.
with the solution, and before you access the free charging booth, you need to punch your phone number. So after we can remarket to you.
Right.
So
that was brilliant.
And and also it had a screen where you could display the products, and then there was physical product there. So within 3 months we made the money back. You solved the problem. And so it was a mutual beneficial.
Benefit,
So
for both of you.
For us, so it's about, for the youth, they need to, around the kind of space we operate in, they need to identify that problem around them. They need to look at what they can do. It's just like, for example, in the north, the kind of specification of products, especially when, let me use power banks for example, they like power banks with touch lights. They like if you even give them power bank with radio, they'll take it.
Exactly.
But that doesn't really appeal to them in south or southwest, you
Exactly.
know. So it's about, for them there is about the design, it's about how futuristic it looks and all that. For them, you know, it's different. So they is to identify what they think um, is the problem around them, and then go into it. Like I said, phone accessory is very wide, so you can go develop any kind of gadgets anytime that would fit into people's lifestyle or improve people's life or solve
Exactly.
solution or solve
Exactly.
problems, and then you take it up from there. It's just about having the mindset, the passion, and you must be intentional about it.
Yeah,
You
you
find the
must have
opportunities.
the nose
Yeah,
to figure out what the
yeah,
problem is and
yeah.
the
So
solution you can bring.
we're just 2 years, and we launched into Cameroon, Douala to be precise, early this year. Is it early this year? And you know, in if you're looking at it from that point of view, you look at it that you've not even captured
The Nigerian
Nigeria
market,
market. You
because
are
that was
going
my
into,
next question. I'm
yes,
like, local
local
consumption.
government,
Have
yeah.
you've not finished
And
that?
so, and for me, it wasn't about that. It was about finding, identifying like the market and how you can expand without your presence. If there's a structure, the structure drives every other thing.
Itself, right?
I don't. I've only been to after we launched. Apart from after we launched mall there, I've only been there once, and the system is running. The business is running on its own. So it's about identifying the problems around you, and then also learning from the people that have been in the business. For
Right.
my own industry, you might not necessarily adapt what the other people have done, but you've learned from it. So you might want to do your own in a different way.
Right.
And then if you do that, yeah, in marketing is blue ocean strategy. Everybody is trying to use price to penetrate. Everybody is trying to develop products and then want the cheapest. There would always be a cheaper brand, no matter how cheap you go. That's is a principle. No matter how cheap you want to beat someone's price.
Someone would go
Just
lower.
give it time. Someone will go lower, and you've already gone at your minimum. So you just it's
Exactly.
just natural death.
Right.
Then the business just dies. And so it's about identifying what you want to do, the kind of product, and then be intentional about it, and then create your own concept. Like I said earlier, it's about brands. No two brands can ever be the same.
Right.
No matter how much you try to copy. So is either you are ready to lose or win. So if you are ready to win, there's no need to copy anything.
You're right. You're right. And some of the big brands you have mentioned in the accessory sector have suffered piracy, a proliferation of pirated copies of or products, counterfeits and all of that. What are you doing to mitigate that for your product?
Well, like I said, this is a typical Nigerian brand, registered with the CAC, with SON. We have all the certification needed. Like I said, the quality is almost it's the same, not almost, as Europe standard. So if we're going to launch in Europe today, I just need to get some certification license. That's all, and because it's already made to standard. So for us, making sure a product is always available is key. Two is your registration with the bodies, the regulatory bodies, and also, if you have, when I say with the regulatory bodies, CAC is there, I mentioned SON and all of those. Also, you need to make sure that the kind of partnership you have from China is strong as well, because even if they are going to copy it, it's also going to be from China.
Sometimes it's even from local.
Oh, it's hard.
Okay.
because they might not get the perfection. They might not.
Absolutely. I mean, I've seen products that you just change the R to B.
Yeah.
The entire logo is the same, but
Yeah.
it's only when you look really
Yeah.
well that you realize, oh no, this isn't
Okay, so
MOL. This is
like I said, for
MOB or
us,
something.
barcode, trademark, both China and Nigeria, we
Do we
have
do we
that.
do we have that aware consumers to say, you know what, I have this package right here just to ensure I'm getting the right product. I
Products.
want to go through the barcode. I want to see if it has the necessary
Yeah, it's about
brand.
educating your consumers, the end users, and I was looking at it from the point of view of um, someone going to China and trying to copy your the brand or the
From
product
that large
from
scale.
that large scale, because yeah, to inform the end user, the consumer, is pretty easy. Well, you just need to communicate that. That's what advertising will do for you, PR and all that. But so from the other side, as I'm speaking, MOL has been registered both in China and Nigeria, so it's difficult. So we can sue you anywhere.
Anywhere, right? But let's quickly talk about that institutional support that developers and manufacturers like you need to thrive. Each time we talk about China and why China products often grows exponentially and so rapidly, is because they have government support. Most of their products, yes,
True.
most of the manufacturers have government support.
Yeah.
And here we say government has no business in business. So what are those institutional
I
support
think
that you need?
is a big. I like this question because it's something that has been on my mind, and there's nothing you want to do, no matter how big or the kind of financial capacity you think you have. You can't do anything without the government, because the government policy would always,
Absolutely.
affect whatever operations or your business, whether positively or it depends on you how you want to do it. So look at, you mentioned, like for China, there was a time they locked their borders, released funds to their citizens, Chinese citizens, to go into Africa, invest in businesses, come and do business in Africa, will support you. That's government funding to citizens.
And how can you beat that?
And you can't do that. So and they're into huge manufacturing. So when our people now do the same thing, they come here, which is what we would need the government collaboration and support with, is the local brands would sit down, conceptualize, use almost a year to develop a product, and the Chinese brand comes, even though it's because they also have substandard, and they come and they sell like half the price. Same product or similar products, half the price, and then they kill you. And you would have maybe gotten investments from maybe bank loans and all
Not
of
to mention
that,
the volatility in our forex.
Yeah, and that's another part of it. So all these things is not being regulated by the government, and you will see a Chinese man or an Indian man or whatever will come in and enter into any of the markets, maybe has just few pieces, sell half the price, and kill your own brand that you've been working on with the investment, with the loans, with the product development processes you've put in place, even with your son registration and everything, and then they do whatever they want to do and they get out and they take the money all back. So those kind of places are the kind of places we would need the government support. Like if you go to some markets in Nigeria, they don't allow foreigners to just come in and introduce their product
right,
without passing through or registering with the market union. So that is good, but that is by the market union, not by the government. So we need maybe support from the customs or from the regulatory bodies, SON, trademark, all those kind of, they're all they're all regulatory bodies that would help to screen both. For us, we are not scared of screening because we already have good quality and we are producing at that level, and we have all the. So if we have all the registration, why are we doing all the registration if we can't be protected?
Exactly.
So at that point, we need to start checking and screening, because Nigerians can't go into their own country, even if it's
the best of
the
products.
best of products. You won't be allowed. The government protects the local manufacturers and brands within their own country.
What do you mean by Nigerians can't take, no matter how good the products are? I mean, don't they also patronize foreign product?
Yeah, because no, not that they don't patronize foreign products, but if you are a foreigner, for example, I use an example. If you are a Nigerian, you feel you have a good idea. I don't know why people think that a Nigerian can't have the best blazer. He feels like the best blazer and he wants to sell it in the Chinese market. Why can't he do it? But we're restricted when we get there. One, because you are from Nigeria, you can't even open a bank account. You are restricted in so many ways. Even if there's no direct restrictions, there will be limitations in terms of or tax or all these sub policies that would just cut you off. And so I think that we need to get to the level where the government can come together, call us, call the brands, call the union. We come together. What are the challenges? What are we really facing? How can we protect the local brands, and then also encourage the local brands to help the youth, the people that because that's where the workforce is.
Yes, exactly.
So help them to be encouraged, because if they are seeing these things and they are saying that even the guys that are there are still facing these challenges, so why would I bother? I don't have any chance, So, and when the governments begin to see this thing and support, and then it helps the generation coming as well.
Does it concern you that largely the young people have to be self-taught in tech? Our educational curriculum often really doesn't have, is not in-depth, or you have to see them leave the country to get this knowledge and all that. Does it concern you, and has it affected you in terms of employment?
Good question. But for our own industry, you really do not need to go out of the country. But to an extent, it was, when I joined Oraimo, for example, I had the opportunity to also travel, discuss with the product development team. I started knowing what goes into the chipsets, PCBA, all these cables, and copper, blah blah blah, and whatnot. And I think for me, I would say it's more of exposure,
right?
Rather than what you see that maybe the universities are not taking. Yeah, it's part of it, but I doubt if they would have the level of technology.
True.
Right? Because, for example, the way things are moving now, technology changes almost every 3 months. In China, what they do now, if you think you have the best now, in the next 3 months, 6 months, it's changing. Yeah,
that's true.
So I think it's more of exposure. I think the universities, the institutions should create a platform where either they invite those people, but I think it's better to travel out, because you can see the facility, the people right there, and then you can
I wish we had more time. I wanted
Yeah.
to ask if it's rocket science to have those facilities in country, but we really have run out of time. Sanmi Oladunni, thank you so much for being part of the program. We've been discussing with the CEO, MOL Tech Accessories, and we have really covered very important issues. Thank you once again.
Yeah,
And each time you're in Abuja, of course, ADBN, you're always welcome here.
No problem. Nice to be here as well.
Right. So this is where we draw the curtains on today's edition of the program. It's been wonderful having you there. You too should look into tech. That seems to be the future. Have yourself a wonderful evening.